So let's have a look at that data. For purposes of this playbook, I took our test vault. So we have a test vault internally at ConversionWise. Every losing test and every winning test goes into that test vault. So it's all recorded on a Monday board. It tells us what the test is, the hypothesis, how long the test ran, was it stat sig, was it powered, did we implement it, was it winning, was it losing, etc., etc. We have Figma before and after designs, and I'm going to share them in the playbook. But I was really intrigued because I've always been obsessed for 13 years of what truly does it take to turn a click into a customer. And if we could bucket that so that we can help more brands into 8 to 10 things that we can do to not overcomplicate it from a delivery perspective to improve the post-click experience, what would those 8 to 10 things look like? And that's what I'm excited to share with you in this playbook. So these are the levers that actually move the revenue. So I took 600 across the last 8 months of tests. I exported 8 months worth of tests because I thought it was relevant within that kind of recent window with Andromeda, with AI, etc., etc. And I analyzed those 600 winning tests and I ranked them within the 8 buckets that we focus on at ConversionWise that really does help scale a brand. And these are those buckets. And I'm going to go inside this playbook into each and every one of them. And I'm going to give you some examples as well. But these were the 8 buckets that just kept coming up. And then what I did is I ranked those buckets with test win percentage. So this isn't revenue uplift. This isn't, this bucket's guaranteed to make you the most money. This is just which test typically wins on a higher frequency and rank them from 1 to 8. So as I said, we're going to go through these in the playbook, but conversion experience is by far the most, and even more so now, the most important thing that you can do post-click. So what experience is someone having? Making your site as simple to use and to purchase as possible. It's so important, and it has such a high win rate internally here, and I'm sure for other people doing post-click and CRO. And it's never been more important. If you are not optimizing your store for the best conversion post-click experience that you can, you're not now just leaving money on the table. You're also affecting your persona and your ads performance as well. So it's super important. Next, offer and pricing. So offers, finding the right offer to scale on paid media is not an easy task. We do it time and time again every single month for brands here, but particularly I would say for small to medium sized businesses, this has been consistently the biggest uplift in scaling paid media for a brand, is finding that right offer. One, your product has to be amazing. It has to be good. You can't scale a bad product, in my opinion. But if you've got a really good product and then you find that offer that works with your audience, this is a game changer. This allows you to scale on paid. Messaging and positioning, funny enough, again, I think we'll probably see these top 3. I mean, the top 4 for me are the biggest ones anyway, but I think messaging and positioning is only going to be more and more effective because of what's happening on the platforms, because you're going to have that message match between specific types of ads to post-click experiences. Okay, it's no longer good enough just to have one advertorial. You need an advertorial for each persona. Okay, so those 3 and 4 kind of go hand in hand, but messaging and positioning and how you actually position your product to that specific persona and that user who has that kind of conversion bubble around them, because there's going to be so many of these different bubbles now, is going to be really, really important. Landing pages and funnels. This, I predict, in a year will be probably 1 or 2, number 1 or number 2. And we've been doing this for 13 years. For the first 8 years of doing this, we were actually called the landing page guys. And we have designed more landing pages than any other agency on the planet. So I'm seeing this, and I'm really happy because I love pages, go full circle. We saw those kind of first 8 years, the rise of the landing page, the funnel, and then it kind of dipped off a little bit. I think along came Shopify. A lot of people were just buying so-called optimized themes. They weren't really focusing on LPs. It was more about optimizing the store and doing experimentation. And now, particularly with the algorithm updates, I'm seeing a massive swing back to landing pages. Pre-sales, advertorials, listicles, surveys, direct response sales pages, bundle offer pages. All these things are now helping to scale paid media because they are direct response. You've got merchandising and product discovery. So we'll go into some examples, but this is basically putting the right products in front of people at the right time and making your products easy to find. Okay, so many brands overcomplicate it. They wonder why they don't sell, but they're hiding their products or they're not making it easy. There is so many opportunities that go back to that conversion experience, but there's so many opportunities on your store to sell to people. Okay, things like an empty cart, things like suggested search, things like your mega menu with a bestseller. Putting products at the right time in front of people are really going to help. Average order value and monetization. I think this is lower down because I think it's harder to do. It's, in my opinion, particularly when you focus on number one, it's easier to increase your revenue per session by improving your conversion rate than it is your average order value. But if you can unlock average order value growth, of course, it's going to make your paid acquisition better and cheaper and more effective. So it's something that we're constantly trying to do. Brand and trust. This one is it kind of feeds into number one as well. But making sure that you levitate your brand from a trustable perspective. So making your cold clicks trust you as soon as they land, right? And I always use this story of like Amazon. Like every single one of us has probably ordered from Amazon 5 times in the last 2 weeks without even thinking about it. You don't even think, no matter how little or how much the product is, right? You just trust Amazon. You just trust that you're going to get your product on time. And if you don't like it, you can send it back and you'll get a free refund, no questions asked. You know that you can spend however much money and it's going to be safe and secure. So this is the, everyone should be petrified of Amazon when they're launching a brand because that's who you're going up against. You need to work way harder than they do to earn someone's trust. So trust and brand is going to be huge. And then look, site speed and performance, we've touched on it previously in the playbook. It is still super, super important. More so if you're a larger brand. So if you're doing a lot of sessions, you know, north of kind of 300, 400,000 sessions per month, then site speed and performance is going to be a big unlock for you. If you haven't optimized it yet, it's a huge unlock. You're going to see growth from it. Even more so if you're a brand doing over, you know, millions of sessions per month. We have a lot that we work with here at ConversionWise. And when we focus on that site speed, that's when it starts to have a big effect on their paid media, on performance when you are doing huge volume. So still super important. But what we're going to do next is we're going to break these down. I'm going to give real life examples from brands we've worked with here at ConversionWise, tests that we've driven for them, and hopefully it just sparks your inspiration and gets you thinking. And hopefully the whole point of this is to make you understand, if you don't already, how important post-click always has been, but now more so than ever with what's going on with AI and kind of Andromeda and the kind of algorithmic updates. So I'm excited to get into this. So growth now comes from knowing which lever to pull and when exactly to pull it. And that's what we do. We go into a brand and we look across these 8 levers, pillars, whatever you want to call it, and we say, that's the next biggest lever we can pull. It's going to have the best result and we will focus on it now. We then move to the other pillars and it's a constant. Of course it is optimization, you know, post-click optimizations, CRO shouldn't be a one-off thing. You're getting, again, now more so than ever, you're getting new personas, new types of customers, new products launching all the time. You can always be optimizing, but the biggest impact you will get on your store and biggest uplift you'll get on your store is knowing which one of these 8 levers to pick first and foremost, and implementing it and growing it straight away. And that's what we do. So here's exactly what that looks like in practice.